What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video I am going to be discussing and matchmaking a fight between the two most hated UFC fighters in each division. The two absolute fucking Bin Ladens of the sport. I don't know if I'm allowed to say Bin Laden in the first 15 seconds of the fucking video, but the absolute like Hitlers of the sport, but take away the good stuff, and they're just pure bad, all bad fighters. This is what we're talking about. Fighters with no redeeming qualities. Fighters that the fans hate. Fighters that we are rooting for their downfall every time they compete. And I'm going to be discussing these two absolute gremlins. These two absolute fucking disgraces to the sport. And yeah, how would a fight between the two of them go? Or just in general, who would I actually be rooting for between the two of them, who I both hate immensely? And yeah, without further ado, let's go. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like, do all that. We're trying to hit 14k subs in the next few days, hopefully. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, let me know your two most hated fighters in each division as well, and how would you pick a fight between the two of them, or who do you hate more? And anyway, let's start off with the Flyweight division. Muhammad Mokaev versus Amir Al-Bamzi. Now, this is actually a fight that should happen, and not just because I hate both of them and it would just be funny. I'm going to put up a poll, by the way, after this, for all of the, once this video is out, I'll put up a poll for all of these fights, and like, who would you be actually rooting for? Mokaev versus Al-Bamzi, let me know in the comments, who would you guys be supporting? Because I dislike both of them. I would probably be supporting Mokaev, to be honest, because I just don't like Al-Bamzi at all. But these two also have beef as well, because they had some weird ethnic beef where Mokaev just kept telling Al-Bamzi that he wasn't Arab, he was Kurdish or something like that. Just this really weird situation. I don't know what was going on there, but I support ethnic-based insults and criticism and scrutiny, so that's respectable for Mokaev. So I'd probably be rooting for him in this one. I think he would probably win this fight as well. But it would be a close fight. It would be an interesting one. I think in terms of why these guys are hated, obviously Mokaev because he's just an absolute terrorist of the sport, and Al-Bamzi just because he looks weird and he's just annoying. You know, this is the vibe. But the two of these guys, the fight would probably be god awful, but who cares? That's not what we're not focusing on making good fights. We're focusing on making fights that people hate, or fighters fighting each other that people hate. But anyway, let's move on to the Bantamweight division. Flyweight's not a division with that many hated fighters. They're all midgets anyway, like no one really cares. I don't like Kai France very much. So like a Kai versus Mokaev would genuinely, like, I actually wouldn't. I'd probably root for Kai, but I wouldn't even complain if he lost. I don't like Kai France very much. But apart from that, like, there's not that many hated fighters at Flyweight. So let's move on to the Bantamweight division. Man of the moment, cometh the man, cometh the hour, Henry Cejudo. Guys, listen, guys. I think I'm going to get poked in the eye, guys. I can't see, guys. Henry Cejudo, triple C, triple fucking foul. I don't know, that's what Song Yadong did to him in this fight, to be fair to him. But still, absolute fucking bitch. Fuck Cejudo, honestly. I got my bet right, which saved my week from being catastrophic. Because going into the main event, I had a 3-leg parlay riding on a Song Yadong win flat out. No finish, nothing like that. Just a win flat out to basically make me break even for the week. Otherwise, I wouldn't have hit a single bet on the card. I had 16 bets on this card. A lot of them were just $1 long shot parlays. But like, I had 16 bets on this card. And if Song Yadong had lost, I would have literally gone 0 for 16, bro. I would have been running some Marab versus Aldo takedown numbers if for my bets if Song hadn't won. So I was happy that he got the win, but I was still just pissed at Cejudo. Alright, like if you go back and watch my stream, I know on timestamp. I don't timestamp my stream because I just can't be bothered. But if you can actually be bothered to go back and rewatch a Left Lane MMA stream, I respect that immensely. So if you do, timestamp it, please. That'd be appreciated. But if you watch my reaction to Cejudo's Song, like, I was heavily rooting for Song Yadong. I hate Cejudo. He's in my top 15 least favorite fighters list, as was Brendan Allen. So was happy to see him lose too. But I was just like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like, this dude took 5 minutes. He took like 3 minutes, right? We're like, okay, he's getting back into it. Stands up. He sits down. I was like, oh hell no. What's this guy doing? He's sitting down. Takes another minute and a half. Like, fair enough. You are allowed to take the 5. Dude is not blinking. Dude is not wiping in his eye. He's just there. Maybe you can't see. I could believe that, you know. But still, fighters fight past things where they can't see in fights. Like, that just happens. And yeah, this dude's just there. And then he goes to the corner and he's like, guys, I can't see. I really can't see out of my left eye, guys. And then the fight gets fucking stopped. And then he's like really just acting like confused. And then he loses a technical decision because it was clearly 3-0 or 2-1 Song. And also, just going to say this. one of the judges scored the fucking third round to Henry Cejudo. The fuck is that? The second round is the arguable one where it's like, oh, maybe you can say, if you really want to cope about this result and you picked Cejudo like a tard, speaking to you, Kenneth Okoye, if you picked Cejudo and you're coping about this result because he quit, then what you could do is you could be like, oh, but it was 2-1 Song, but there should have been a point taken, so it should have been a draw. That's like the cope that you can do, even though I think it's more justifiably 3-0 Song than 2-1 Cejudo, or even 2-0 Song, honestly. There's no justification for 2-0 Cejudo. I saw some people saying that. You're retarded. I'm not even... this is just my little mini recap of the event, because I'm not doing an event recap. I don't care. Gene Silver's him. I'll talk about him in another video. But, what's it called? You can maybe say that, and you can maybe be like, oh, it should have been 2-1 Song, but a point deduction draw. Right? I think everyone agrees that fight kept going, even without the eye poke in the first place. I think Song was on his way to winning that fight. I had him up 3-0. And I had him winning up until the eye poke in the third anyway. So it's not like, oh, you got this comeback. He did damage after the eye poke that stole him the round. Still, I had him up 3-0. But Cejudo, fuck this guy. Retire or fight Aldo. Like, just be... the way he handled it was so gremlin-y. Like, I don't know. I just hated it. But anyway... fair enough, do your thing, I guess. But yeah, go fight Aldo, please. Aldo will beat this guy's ass. I feel confident saying that as well. So yeah, fuck Cejudo, Bautista, Mario Bautista. I would say these two are right now probably the two most, like, dislikable, unlikable, I don't know which one's the word you're supposed to use. They're the most hateable fighters at Bantamweight. Bautista, just because obviously he's actually a sport terrorist, and he's getting tried for war crimes. They're actually sending him to Mexico to fight Chito Vera, so he's going to get executed by the cartel. I think the fight's not happening at Mexico anymore, by the way. It's like moving to another date, who knows. But, yeah, that fight's probably happening. Chito's going to hopefully execute him with a front kick up the middle, but he'll probably lose because Chito's takedown defense sucks. But, yeah, Bautista versus Cejudo, I would say, are the two most hateable bantamweights right now. Who would you guys be rooting for? I'd still probably root for Henry, just because fuck Bautista. But I also do not like Henry Cejudo in any way. So yeah, fuck both of these two on crit. Let's move on though to the featherweight division. Featherweight, Movzar Pedluev, brother, she was 17, it is okay. Versus Yusuf Forrest Gump Zalal. You know, we got a generational matchup here. This honestly, I don't even hate Yusuf Zalal that much, but I'm just going off recent events, and also there ain't that many like hated featherweights. Like, I mean, I could put Bryce Mitchell on here because he's hated by a certain group of the fan base, not the fan base over here, you know, not the people watching this video, I assume. Maybe I'm wrong, but let me know in the comments, you fuck with Bryce Mitchell or not. But, anyway, I would say right now, Movzar is my most hated featherweight. I dislike him immensely. I stand against him, fundamentally. I think he's a terrible human being. No, I don't... He's just boring as fuck. I don't know, he's just Movzar, bro. Like, dude, fuck this guy. And then Yusuf Zalal, I don't even hate this dude. Like, I actually was like rooting for him going into the Cater fight, being like, oh, we need new prospects. And then this dude hits a fucking marathon on us in the third round and runs 20 kilometers inside 5 minutes, which is nuts. Great, crazy pace, honestly. And yeah, that was interesting. That's how that fight went, to be honest. And then he comes out afterwards and accuses Calvin Cater of greasing. And it's just like, what are you doing, bro? So Zalal right now definitely not over with the fans, and Movzar I dislike immensely. So yeah, I'd say these are the only two like really hated featherweights I could find. Because like, I don't like Ortega, but I don't think he's like widespread hated by the fans. And I would say, yeah, for the most part, I'm trying to stick to the fan base like widespread hatred, but there will be an element of my own personal biases here. But I think this is a pretty agreeable one, to be honest. Anyway, let's move on to the lightweight division. Lightweight, it's a fight that's already booked. And now, some people are going to disagree with this, and there's a lot of people that probably do like Paddy. I hate Paddy. I hate Michael Chandler. I think most people can agree with the Chandler hatred, alright? I don't think I'm going to find too many disagreeers there. I know there's going to be some people who will be like, oh, he's an entertaining fighter. He's annoying. I don't like him. But yeah, Paddy, this fight's booked. I just kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit more, you know. It's weird. Paddy's right now like minus 150 on the odds. It's after opening at like plus 120. So I will be interested to see where the line closes, but I'll probably be rooting for Paddy in this fight, even though I really don't want Bedtime to be able to have his I told you so, because he picked Paddy as his guy to glaze and hope he flukes his way to the top. Because if Paddy loses, he can just act like he didn't even think he was good, and then if he wins, he'll just say, "I told you so." So that's the bedtime special there. Respect to that. But I just don't like Paddy in general. I don't know. He's just annoying. The way he handled the Jared Gordon thing, even the way he handled the Tony Ferguson thing was just like, what are you doing? He's just an annoying personality in general. Like, it's just weird. But him and Chandler, I don't like Arman that much either. I definitely think Arman's not in the good graces of the fans after his pullout of the Islam. So you can Islam fight, Makhachev fight, sorry, at 311. Who else though is hated? Like hated at lightweight? Like Gamrot, I guess. But I don't think people really care about Gamrot. Like I don't like Jalen Turner, but that's personal bias, of course. But anyone else, like Faziv's awesome. We love Faziv. We fuck with Faziv. You know, BSD's on a fucking generational decline, but I don't think anyone like hates him, I feel like. So I don't know. I would say this is a fight between two guys who I don't like very much. And I would say if you ask a percentage, like I might put up a poll. I'll say, do you guys like Paddy Pimblett? Yes or no. Or like, how do you feel about him? Like, love him, hate him, don't care. I'm gonna put that poll up. Because I do want to gauge, maybe less people hate him than I thought. I'll do the same with some of these other fighters, though, just to get an idea. Anyway, though, let's move on to the welterweight division. Welterweight, we're running a triple threat match between Ian Cucciardo Gary, Colby Duckington Covington, and Bilal Remember the Plains Muhammad. Triple threat match. This is on some WWE fucking, what's it called, Attitude Era type shit. I don't even watch WWE. Because I'm not a fucking child. Ariel Helwani, I've seen this dude tweet out literally about WWE pound for pound rankings. And I'm just like, bruv, you're a grown man with children. Get a life. What are you doing? Get a job. But I say that as a demonetized 18-year-old in my lounge room. Or in my bedroom recording on a couch. But still, Ariel, get a job, bro. Why are you posting about WWE pound for pound rankings? But still, regardless, these three, I'd say welterweight is the opposite of like a featherweight. There's a lot of hateable guys at welterweight, you know. I don't think anyone likes, not many people like Bilal, unless you're trying to be different. Not many people like Leon, unless you're fucking trying to farm off that one aura edit that you saw on TikTok one time. I think Usman's losing some fans. I don't think anyone's that fond of Sean Brady. I don't think anyone likes Ian Gary, not many. I think a lot of people don't like Colby, me included. Who else? I don't know. Anyone else? I don't know. No one else that I could think of. But still, that's a fair few people at welterweight to pick from that aren't that liked by the fans. So you could definitely go with some other ones here. But I would say, for me personally, it's Bilal and Colby. I think for the fans, it's probably Bilal and Gary. That would be my guess. Widespread. I might put up a poll, say who's your most hated welterweight. I think Gary will be the number one, just because people kind of tell themselves that they hate Ian Gary. He's a cock. He's a bit annoying. His voice is infuriating. I don't hate him. Like, I'm not actively rooting on his downfall. Was I rooting for him to get chinned by Luque going into 296 before he pulled out? Yes. Because that was like the peak of the Ian Gary hatred. But then he kind of flopped and just like fought Neil. Didn't really play into it that much. Had a shit fight. Fought MVP. Scraped a win there. And then the Sharp Cut fight gained him back some respect. So I don't hate Gary. Colby, I know from behind the scenes from my sources that have been that have been right about all the stuff that I've told you guys publicly or on streams or that I've told other people privately. Those sources, multiple of them did confirm that Colby did completely duck Ian Gary for Tampa. Colby was the first choice. They didn't want to do Buckley. Buckley had already fought, and they were like, all right, you want to fucking do a turnaround since Colby's not taking the fight? Colby took the Buckley fight. Everyone's like, oh, Colby actually fighting a contender. He didn't want to fight Ian Gary. Didn't want the fucking humiliation of doing that. Instead, he goes on his little, he has to agree to these 3 stipulations. Shut up, you fucking cunt. Trump doesn't like you. He doesn't know you. You're a bitch. Anyway, Colby Covington, fuck him, yeah? But Bilal, I think not many people like Bilal Muhammad. But anyway, I don't know what I'm doing. It's 2 a.m. I'm fucking Gene Silver autism maxing right now. Let's move on though to the middleweight division. This is where we mix some of the left lane hate and some of the fan hate. Because I hate Israel Adesanya beyond belief. Cannot stand him. Was glad to see his downfall unfold. You know, everyone's kind of been like, I kind of hated Izzy, but I sort of feel bad now. No, fuck this guy. Hate Izzy. Cunt. Get out of here. But I don't love Strickland. I wouldn't say I even like him. I would say some of the stuff he says is funny. I wouldn't say I hate him. I wouldn't say I dislike him. I've became very neutral about Sean Strickland. I love this dude after the Izzy fight. He was like, if you asked me my top 10 favorite fighters, I would have had him in there just for the Izzy fight alone. Even though, yes, he's boring as fuck and yes, he's kind of cringe, still would have put him in there just for the sake that he beat Izzy. But now we got other guys who have beat Izzy. You know, I don't need to rely on Strickland as much for my mental health of like, oh, we need to praise him for beating Izzy. So I got a Mavov for that now. I got Drickus for that now. You know, these other guys, and they're just better and cooler than those guys. You know, but Sean Strickland, I don't think the fans love him very much. You know, the For You guys is getting kind of old. The 49-46 decisions are getting kind of tiresome. You know. Back to the Apex, buddy. Go back to your roots. Jump on a fucking mic. Do a cool little. Get the OG base Strickland Apex press conferences back when you're just saying the most cooked shit. Like, I know he says some cooked shit recently, but I don't know. But yeah, I don't think the fan base loves Strickland. There's definitely a segment of them that absolutely hate him. So yeah, I'd say this is a good way to mix, you know, left lane hatred and then fan base hatred. Because I know there's a lot of Strickland haters out there. I know there's a lot of Izzy haters out there apart from me. Other guys that you could include, that's a good question. I don't know, kid. We'll get back to you on Tuesday. Who else? Like, there's definitely some people who don't like Thumbs Up, but I don't know. There's some people who, you know, I don't like Brendan Allen. I'm not a fan of Brendan Allen, but, you know, again, once he's lost already, I don't really care now. I needed Fluffy to beat him for my bank account, but apart from that, I don't really care about him anymore. Who else is, like, hated at middleweight? There's not that many, I guess. So I would say this is the two that is, like, have the most, like, there's that one side of the fan base that hates Izzy, one side that hates Strickland, polar opposites. Let's get them back together for a rematch. If Izzy wins another fight. Izzy should have to fight outside the top 5. Anyway, let's move on to the light heavyweight division. Next up, we got Jamal Hill versus Magomed Ankalaev. Again, I'd say this is a pretty easy choice. Light heavyweight, there ain't that many hated guys like Smith, I guess. But I think Smith's past the point of really giving a fuck. Who else is like hated at light heavyweight? No one really. Like Yuri, everyone loves Yuri. Pretty much everyone loves Pereira. Blachowicz is chill. Olberg's chill. Ozdemir's chill. Krylov's dead at war, but we need him back. You know, Reyes, we all love Reyes. I'd say these are the two that probably people dislike. I'd have obviously pick Ankalaev if they fought. But yeah, Ankalaev just because he's kind of boring, NPC, just annoying, and then Jamal Hill because he's just Jamal Hill. You know, he's a Jamal if you know what I'm saying. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. But anyway, that'll do it for light heavyweight. Not much to say there, to be honest. Like Hill again, I would probably be rooting for Hill to win this. Honestly, I don't like Ankalaev at all. Let's move on though to the heavyweight division. Heavyweight. Jonathan Jones is obviously the #1 hated guy I think across the fan base right now at heavyweight. Obviously, there are the Jones Glazers, you know, the fags of the space, you know, just the gay black men. Like that's the John Jones fan base, or the gay white men who are closeted homosexuals and cucks and just weird people who idolize Jones for some reason. Just the wife beaters of the world, you know, them types. So they're the fans that Jones attracts. But I don't really know for the other person. This is not me saying I hate Almeida. I actually kind of like Almeida. I would be rooting for him to beat Garn. I can't put Garn, they've already fought, like, it's just dead. And apart from that, heavyweight's just so blobby that no one gives a fuck. Like, I don't know, Blades, no one really hates Blades. Pavlovich, Volkov, people like Volkov now, people are getting behind Volkov, you know. Obviously, Aspinall is only hated by the fag, wife-beating, cuck Jones fans, you know. But apart from that, heavyweight, like Gaziev, we all love Gaziev. You know, Tai Tuivasa, Waldo Cortez Acosta is the only other one I could think of. But if we're going actually like based off near each other in the rankings, I would say Jonathan Jones versus Gelton Almeida. I guess some people still hate Almeida. I don't know why. He's alright. But again, this is just a filler placement because I genuinely couldn't think of anyone for heavyweight. Anyway though, that'll do it. Sorry if the audio's cooked. I don't know what's going on. It just varies from video to video. But like, subscribe, leave a comment, follow my Instagram, Twitter, Left Lane MMA, all that shit. I don't know, drop some more video ideas you guys want to see. I am claiming this video now. I'm going to do a best unranked fighter in each division video / like an unranked fighter. And the best unranked fighter and the highest ranked contender they could beat. So I'm claiming that video now. If anyone does it, they stole it from me. But anyway, that will do it. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.